Kamloops Radio RV6 Golf Zulu Victor Delta.
Golf Zulu Victor Delta, Kamloops Radio.
Zulu Victor Delta is at Mountain Air. Have a very quick run up to do here, and then it'll be a VFR flight plan to the east.
Roger. And on course 3111, I guess the only other problem will be if you have to circle to the south on the approach, because it does impede a little bit where you would be circling. You have to remain above 8,000 feet.
Okay, no, we should be good on the straight in here, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Roger.
Kamloops Radio, Tango Hotel Yankee, down clear.
Tango Hotel Yankee, roger. Whiskey Victor Lima, the Cessna 425 is on a 5-mile final for runway 27. The Q400 is 17 miles back, and that Q400 estimating in 5 minutes.
Okay, Whiskey Victor Lima, we see the 425, and we can orbit out here over the junction until the Q is by.
Whiskey Victor Lima, roger. The other traffic is just turning the right crosswind for the right-hand downwind departure, runway 27 eastbound, ARV6. What altitude are you at?
We're at 2,200 feet, but if you think we got time, we can turn in behind the 425 now.
Yeah, you'll have time if you turn it in behind the 425.
Okay, we'll turn in joint final behind the 425, Whiskey Victor Lima. We'll make this one a full stop to exit Bravo and go to the Executive Flight Center.
Roger.
Oh, good morning and welcome aboard. Going out for another, if you want to call it a survey or a look at some of the forest fire damage. My last video turned out to be quite popular, so I decided to do kind of a part 2, go a little bit further. So this, I'm heading now towards Vernon, just off Kamloops, and if you're familiar with Kamloops, I'm just climbing right now over Juniper Ridge, coming up on Dallas, and Barnhart Vale will be right down below me here. So I have to climb up above 9,000 feet because of the restricted airspace, so I'm going to climb to 9,500. And I'm going to fly basically from my current position basically directly to Monte Lake, and then follow Highway 97 down to Vernon. And from there just fly over Kalamalka Lake, up to Sicamous, back over Salmon Arm, and then back home to Kamloops. So all in all, it's about 172 miles or so. Flight says I'll do it in an hour and 15 minutes. Looks like I'm going to be up above the level of the clouds here, which I guess is kind of good. It'll make for a nice smooth ride. But it may restrict my visibility some when I get to where I'm going. So, as always, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the comments that I get. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. I plan to do quite a few more of these type of videos where I'm just going out and having a look. Because of all the extensive wildfire damage around us. Unfortunately, there's no shortage of areas to look at.
Encore 3111, exiting at Alpha and taxiing in.
Encore 3111, roger.
The only negative of this, I guess, is that I have to be so high. So I'm not really looking to see any individual properties or be nosy or anything. Just want to have a look and see the extent of the damage to the environment. So just coming up on 9,200 feet here now. I'm also going to try something different. Somebody else made a comment after the last video and asked me to do a full-length video. So the last one I cut out, well, I tend to cut out a lot of, boring things where I'm just flying along doing nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make this one 2 separate videos. One will be kind of edited the way I normally do, and one I'm just going to make a full-length uninterrupted video right from start to finish. If that turns out to be popular, maybe I'll just keep doing that. We will see. So, level now at 9,500 feet, just accelerating here. I'm going to lean the mixture. And set the throttle to about 2,350 RPM. And that's going to stabilize down around 7.5 gallons per hour. And once I accelerate here, it should get me about 145 knots or so over the ground, 153 knots true. So already up ahead here, so just over this ridge by this green patch right in front of me, just coming up under the nose now, just on the other side of that ridge is Monte Lake, and then over the second ridge is Highway 97 down through Westwold. Well, beyond that in the distance, you can see there's quite a bit of smoke already. Now the clouds out there, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to continue all the way over to Vernon. If that's a solid area of cloud, I'm not going to be able to fly too much farther over it. Because under my current license, I have to maintain visual reference with the ground at all times. So I think it looks like it's a little broken up ahead. When I came out a couple of days ago, this area was a little smoky, and I was actually kind of surprised that there wasn't more, but here it is today. So obviously this fire is, well, obviously this fire is still burning and still a major concern.
Foxtrot Micro Blue at 6,000 feet, around 11 miles to the south of Marys, south one to Pit Better One. We're going to follow the Highway 5, Foxtrot Micro Blue.
1267 traffic, vicinity of Monte Lake, RV6 Golf to Zulu Victor Delta is at 9,500 feet. Overhead Monte Lake following Highway 97 down towards Vernon. Golf Zulu Victor Delta. And again, I have to maintain this altitude.
Traffic on 1267, Golf Uniform Foxtrot Echo, test to 180. This is level 9,500 feet southbound.
Monte Lake traffic, Golf Micro 172, just north of Gallagher's Canyon, 6,000 feet. We're working at that bend where Highway 33 turns from going east to south.
So I have to maintain this altitude because the airspace below me right now is restricted for any traffic up to 9,000 feet. So at 9,500 I'm safe here and I'm not going to impede any firefighting operations or or get in anybody's way. But it's very smoky. Down here south of Westwold. Over here, I believe it's called Panoose Lake. All around that there, it's very smoky. But I don't see any flames. And because of this cloud cover in front of me, I probably won't. all of the fire now seems, well, at least all of the smoke is south now of Highway 97. Just coming up here in front of me will be Falkland. Everything north of the highway seems to be okay right now, at least from this vantage point.
Traffic Salmon Question traffic north of Salmon area. This is 952 Foxtrot Mike Bravo X-ray. Turn to 5,500 feet, 17 miles north of Salmon, southbound to Salmon. Just over the Sorrento. Foxtrot Mike Bravo X-ray, 5,500 feet, 16 miles north of Salmon.
Traffic vicinity of Falkland. RV6 Golf Zulu Victor Delta 9,500 feet following Highway 97 southeastbound towards Vernon. Golf Zulu Victor Delta. So most of the land here on the north side of the highway doesn't seem to be burned at all. And I can't really see a lot to the south because of the cloud and the smoke. Just dip the wing here a little bit. You really can't see much. The visibility is quite poor over that way. Yeah, everything north of the highway here seems to be mostly untouched.
Armstrong area traffic, Grumman Tiger, Golf Victor to Yankee, 2 to the east of Armstrong, 5,500 northeastbound for the Revelstoke area.
This overhead Falkland here now, so I'll make a turn to the southeast to follow the highway. And you can't see to the south there, but that's where the Okanagan Lake is, and it's completely obscured right now in smoke from my vantage point. And I think now I'm starting to see an area of active fire here just to my south. So this would be on the north end of Okanagan Lake, south of the highway. And I don't know all the different road names here, or the numbers. But it's just to the northwest of Vernon. And yeah, there's quite a bit of smoke, and you can see where that smoke is emanating from. I'll just get a little bit further here, and then I'll dip the wing just to make sure I get a decent view of it. So when I fly to Vernon, actually that's my normal way of flying. I come up over Monte Lake and then turn south down this valley, cross over the north arm of Okanagan, and then across the ridge into Vernon. And yeah, there's another area just up right here. Just turn this way for a second. And down through the clouds there, you can see quite a bit of smoke coming up there from the trees. So yeah, this area is still quite active and very close to Armstrong in the north end of Vernon.
Traffic north of Kamloops area, this is F9 you Foxtrot my Bravo X-ray, currently 5,500 feet, 8 miles north of Kamloops Airport, southbound to Kamloops Airport, and west 5,500 feet and 8 miles north of Kamloops Airport, Foxtrot my Bravo X-ray.
(1267) traffic, vicinity of Vernon, RV6 Golf, Zulu Victor Delta is at 9,500 feet, following Highway 97 towards Vernon, and then turning northbound up towards Sicamous. Golf Zulu Victor Delta. This hill here there's a lot of fire on this hill. Just right on the north shore of the lake, and quite visible, I'm sure, from the highway. I haven't driven over this way in quite a while.
This is Sicamous Flight 2, Foxtrot Mike Bravo Zulu at 8,500 feet, around 20 miles to the south of Barris. We will follow the Highway 5 to Pin Meadow, Foxtrot Mike Bravo Zulu.
I'm just going to fly about as far south as Kamloops Lake, and then turn around and head up towards Sicamous. There is a lot of fire down here.
Enderby area traffic, Grumman Tiger Golf Victor X-ray Yankee is 5 to the north of Enderby, 5,500 northbound, follow the valley through Sicamous and over to Revelstoke. Enderby area traffic.
South of Barris traffic, this is Sicamous Flight 2, Foxtrot Mike Bravo Zulu at 8,300 feet, descending to 6,500 feet, 20 miles to the, correction, 22 miles to the south of Barris. You're going to follow the Highway 5 to southbound to Barris. Correction, southbound to Pin Meadow, Foxtrot Mike Bravo Zulu.
(1267) traffic, North Okanagan, RV6 Golf, Zulu Victor Delta, 9,500 feet, just on the north end of the city of Vernon, over north end of Swan Lake, and just proceeding to Kamloops Lake, then reversing course northbound towards Sicamous. Golf Zulu Victor Delta. That is a lot of smoke and a lot of areas of fire. And it's real close to a lot of houses down there.
traffic in the area of Monte Lake, just north of the Golf up with you. I mean, just over Monte Lake at 5,500 inbound from Kona by Blackhead.
But again, I'm kind of struck. The same observation I made in my last video there, that it's very spotty. I just assumed that a forest fire would just burn everything in its path and it'd be a roaring wall of flame, you know, moving in whichever direction the fuel is and whichever direction the wind is blowing it, but it's very spotty. Like, there's dozens of little tiny fires down there that make up the one large area. And the landscape is kind of scarred, though. This has been going on for quite some time. So this is probably more the remnants of this fire. I mean, this flat fire's been burning for weeks now. There's lots of smoke just kind of hanging over the west end of the Okanagan Lake, but I don't see any areas of active fire, at least from here anyway. I mean, again, it's a very large area. So I'm just over the Lumbee Valley, or just coming up on the Lumbee Valley, I guess, on the north end of Vernon. 127 traffic, north end of Vernon, RV6 Golf Zulu Victor Delta at 9,500 feet, and just over the Lumbee Valley, and reversing course, turning northbound now towards Sicamous, maintaining 9,500, Golf Zulu Victor Delta. There's Vernon, the Vernon Airport.
1267, sorry, 1267, this is Charlie Sheriff, Foxtrot Victor, Foxtrot Mike, level at 9,500. Eastbound just past Camp McKinney on a course towards Cranbrook. That's Victor Foxtrot Mike.
Well south of me. Okay, so just coming out of my turn, Armstrong is dead ahead, Sicamous is up the valley here. Now, in my present position,
7 traffic, this is Sirius Golf Mike Echo Mike. En route from Grand Forks to Revelstoke, 9,500. Currently approximately 5 miles north of Grand Forks.
so my current position and the way I'm heading, I'm now clear of the restricted airspace. So I don't have to maintain 9,500 feet anymore, but I will, because if there's any firefighting going on up around Sicamous, and I'm not sure if there is or not, I do want to remain well clear of the firefighters and don't want to impede their work. But I'll just see how it goes with cloud cover. I may be able to dip down below the clouds. We'll see how it goes. So for now, I'm going to change fuel tanks. Fuel pump is on. Switch to the left tank. Nothing bad happens. And switch to the fuel pump off. Alright, so Sicamous is just disappearing under the nose. And I see lots of smoke in the valley off to the east here. But I don't know the origin of that fire.
Copy, air traffic 1267, Cessna 172, Whiskey Zulu 4,000 feet. Over, Lumpy will be doing some of rail work at 4,000 feet and below.
And I don't see any smoke or any, no real even burn patches up around here, and that's great. That's a good thing. So from here, I'm just going to cross overhead Sicamous, then I'm going to turn westbound towards Salmon Arm, and then home towards Kamloops. Now because my heading is changing, I'm not going to be able to maintain 9,500 anymore. That's the wrong way altitude for westbound. So from here I'll descend down to 8,500 and hopefully I'll still be able to remain clear of cloud. But there's no more airspace restrictions between here and Kamloops as long as I stay north of Highway 1. Dip over here, the city of Salmon Arm is just coming out from underneath the clouds there. If you watch any of my videos, you've seen me fly out here several times. Kamloops Radio RV6 calls to the Victor Delta.
RV6 calls to the Victor Delta, Kamloops Radio.
Zulu Victor Delta showing 21 miles to the east inbound.
Squawk ident, runway 27, wind 150 with 3, altimeter 3011. Traffic right-hand circuits, runway 27, Cessna 172. Roger, right.
Zulu Victor Delta check and runway 27.
Roger, runway 27.
I'll have time for one more shameless plug. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Leave me a comment. You can share my videos, repost them. It's all good. Thanks for flying along again. Hopefully you enjoyed this flight as well. I thought it was quite nice. Unfortunate seeing all that smoke and the sources of all the fires. If you have any ideas for future flights, let me know. I can see what I can do. No promises, but I appreciate all the support that I've been getting. It's been quite overwhelming for me. This started out as just a bit of a goofy hobby that I watch videos all the time on YouTube, and I thought, hey, I can do that. And it's really taken off in popularity. I'm quite humbled and overwhelmed by it a little bit.
Kamloops Radio, Cami 1 medevac. Cami 1 medevac, Kamloops Radio.
Cami 1 medevac is 18 to the east, 4,400 feet, inbound line to hospital in 7 minutes.
Squawk ident, Kamloops wind 150 with 3, altimeter 3011. Roger, right up.
That was a terrible landing.
Cam City Vector Oscar Tango is a 3 miles final, and we'll just orbit here, let the RV6 backtrack.
Victor Oscar Tango.